Hi everyone and welcome to another video. Welcome to my recap of 2023. I wanted to start vlogging again because we're going on a vacation, because that is when I vlog the most, and I decided that, hey, we haven't talked for like 5 months. I need to catch you up before we get into the fun stuff. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over all of 2023, even if you have been here before and seen half of it. Anyhow, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It warms my heart that you want to spend some time with me. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Marika. I come from Stockholm, Sweden, where I live with my boyfriend and my 2 cats. And this is the real life of me. So let's get through this. We're gonna go timeline wise. I'm going to start in 2022 because things kind of started in 2022, but we're gonna just touch on 2022 and then we're gonna go to 2023. I just want to also tell you, if you are sensitive to things like people passing away and losing jobs and health issues, this might not be the video for you, because we're gonna go through a lot. Even though I am in a good mood and life has given me some good choices, 2022 and 2023 was kind of bad years. So let's hope that 2024 gets better, but let's start with this. So 2022, I had gone into like a new role in my company. It was the company I was working for. First of all, this is important. The company I was working for, a great company. However, they was doing a lot of rearranging and chaos, and it was really chaos, and I kind of pushed myself very hard throughout 2022, and I ended up burning myself out quite badly. I am still not 100%. In like June, I think, July, I don't have the date in my head and I'm not gonna go and look it up, my grandmother passed away, and she passed away while I was on a work trip. And I didn't feel that I could grieve among my co-workers, so I pushed all of my emotions down into me, and I ended up pushing them so deep that it took me a month or 2 to actually feel the feelings. And also it took me therapy to get where I needed. I broke completely mentally, and I'm not 100% yet. I get very teary-eyed when I talk about this. 2022 was really rough. Anyhow, the end of 2022, I am burnt out as a crisp, and I ended up having to take 3 extra days of vacation just before I left for vacation because I was so exhausted. But on top of that, I had some meetings with my doctors, so going into my vacation, I knew that my tests weren't really good. They had looked at my tests, they felt that they were a little bit lower than they should be, so we're gonna need to try this medication. I'm like, I tried it before, I got sick, and they're like, yeah, but we want you to try it this version because that doesn't make you as sick. It shouldn't get you as sick, and then I mean sick to my tummy. But the thing is, I got really sick to my tummy, and we also found out my liver values got very bad. And apparently, in the end, we're gonna go a little bit ahead. In the end, I figured out I had a fatty liver, so I need to lose some weight. I lost 7 kilos so far, but I need more. Anyhow, so going into my vacation, I was burnt out. I didn't know what was wrong with my liver. I actually didn't know that there was wrong with my liver. I found that out when I got back because I didn't get the results of my tests until January. Yeah. So I went into it being burnt out, and the whole vacation we had, because that crosses over with, it was December to January, the whole vacation just didn't end up being good. We went to Florida because of the heat. We had 2 or 3 days of a 3-week vacation that was over 15 degrees. The rest of the temperatures were around 15 degrees every day, except for a few that was down to 4. It was actually warmer in Sweden than in Florida those days. Yeah. And because I'm one of the reasons why we go away to Florida, or in this year we're going away to another place, but it's still warm, is because I have lupus. My lupus gives me connective tissue inflammations, so I get joint pain, and that joint pain is really alleviated by heat. So warm weather is the best for me. So whenever it is cold and snowy in Sweden, it is great to come away for a couple of weeks, get some sun, get some heat, and I just feel so much better. Also, I do have SADS, SAD, seasonal something disorder, or depression, or something like that. I get depressed during winter. I don't get depressed during winter when I travel to warm places, because then I get all of the sun and it kind of adds all the vitamins and everything I need, and I feel a lot better. So it helps me in so many ways, and being that it was so cold in Florida, it really made me sad. Not the SADs, it made me sad, yes, but also we took a couple of days at one hotel. We were supposed to kind of just hang around the hotel and have a nice time. Well, we kind of got secluded to our room, because the hotel in itself wasn't it wasn't good for hanging around. It was kind of meant for you to either be in your room or out somewhere else, which is a little bit sad, because it was a new kind of hotel that we tried and we got pretty disappointed. So we mostly spent the time in the hotel room, but also I didn't drink enough because it was pretty cold, and I didn't understand that I needed to drink, and I didn't notice that until like midway into our Disney trip. We had 3 days at Disney. Day 2, we kind of discovered that the tiredness that I was feeling wasn't jet lag, it wasn't me going into a wall, it was dehydration. As soon as we realized that, and I got some Powerade, I started feeling a lot better, but basically half of the Disney trip was ruined. So we only had like 1.5 days left at Disney, and then we went to St. Petersburg, and that is where the kind of thing that really happened, the bad things really happened, and that was St. Petersburg had red algae blooming. I did not know that I couldn't handle red algae blooming. I didn't know my asthma couldn't handle it. So stepping out of the car when we came to the hotel, which by the way was gorgeous. It is a Residence Inn down in St. Petersburg. It's a fairly new one. It is a gorgeous hotel. It was way too cold to be in the pool, so we didn't have any pool weather at all. That's vacation. Yeah, we had 2 days at Disney that were pool weathers, and the last day of the trip that was pool weather. We did 1 day at Disney in the pool for reasons, but I stepped out of the car and I couldn't breathe. It was very labored, my breathing. I'm like, there's something wrong in the air. We didn't think about it. We went up to our hotel room. It was a gorgeous room, and then we went out to the balcony and we looked down, and there's like dead fishes in the water, and we're like, what is going on? We didn't look it up day 1. We looked it up day 2 and found out it was red algae, and day 2 was when I started coughing, and I ended up getting a, what's it called? Lung infection. We call it a lung infection because I can't remember the English word for it. Pneumonia, that's the word. Spells with a P, but says with an N. Pneumonia. I got pneumonia. Mum seemed very happy to get pneumonia, yes. No, it was terrible. I coughed for the lot. We had 2 more weeks vacation in Florida, and I coughed right through it. We went to a couple of different places. We went up to Clearwater Beach. The only fun about Clearwater Beach was I was able to meet up with Marie. That was really, really nice. But otherwise, it was very cool weather. everything was super expensive, like food and stuff, and because I was coughing as much as I was, I couldn't really leave the hotel after that. And then we went down to Naples. There we had another resident inn, definitely not a hotel room for us. The hotel itself was very dated. Found out like the last day that there were cockroaches. I have a hard time with those, so that wasn't nice. And the last day was the only day that was warm enough to actually be by the pool. And then there was a family, like an extended family, that took over the whole pool. So me and Christopher couldn't go in, so we couldn't bathe, which was really, or swim, which was really, really sad. But yeah, that was the whole trip. Not that fun. we ended up going back to Sweden. I ended up having to go to the ER. We actually went to urgent care because I have blood clots and I had flown. They were a little bit worried that the coughing and the pain that I was having in the back was because of blood clots in my lungs. But the pain wasn't because of that. It was because of me coughing so much, so I have pulled my muscles. So that went okay. Then I found out all about the livers and everything and had to go to a liver specialist, and they looked me over, and happily enough it's just a fatty liver, but that also means I need to lose weight, and I need to lose from my top weight. I needed to lose about 20 kilos. I'm 7 kilos down. I've been having a little bit of repeats here and there. It's just very hard. It's been a hard year. It's been a hard year. So yeah, when we finally got through all of that, the company I've been working at for the past 2.5 years decided that they needed to reduce their workforce, and they needed to do a lot of rearranging, and that the role that I had was going to be removed. They did have other roles for me. I don't know what they were, but the whole way they handled it was really bad. There were no information about what was going to happen. Everything took a long time. The reason why I know that it was really, really bad is because it happened again a couple of weeks later, and they were much, much better at it. They were organized. This company was not organized at all. So I don't have the energy for this. I was burnt out. I felt I wouldn't be able to push as I've been pushing. So I took the deal, which meant I had a while that I could like just breathe and everything. But I wanted to make sure that I had a job before I took a break. So I went back to another company I worked for before, which I really, really enjoyed. And within a week, I actually had a contract with them. However, I took 7 weeks vacation I had so many ideas of what I wanted to do. I was so burnt out, so I basically was hostage for 7 weeks. I couldn't get myself to do anything. And then I started the company. It was great. The first week was awesome. The second week, Monday, I found out that they needed to reduce their workforce with 50%. So about 100 people lost their jobs, and as I was last in, I was first out. So now I stood there again without a job. And I started looking for jobs, and 2 weeks in my job looking, my grandfather passed away. It was sort of like after my grandmother died, I was expecting him to pass away as like next week, basically, so that he was able to hold on for over a year was amazing. But yeah, no, he passed away. It was very rough, very emotional, and in this, again, I didn't have time to grieve. I had a job to get. So that was like 1.5 weeks in, actually, of me looking for jobs. When I was looking for jobs, I was talking to recruiters and talking to different companies 3 to 4 times a day. I had meetings. I was in meetings constantly. And for me, I am a very introverted person, and new people is really draining. And having to put on this face of happiness and joy when I'm just exhausted it drains even more. So I was burning out quickly. I was burning my candle at two ends, and that is basically where I left you off, was the Thursday where I had an interview, a tech interview, and I couldn't remember code. I've been coding for over 15 years and I just couldn't remember code because I was so burnt out, so emotionally drained from everything that has happened. But guess what? I got a job. The day after I was contacted by the company that I work for now, I had been in talk with them. It was the company that was top of my list. It was the only company that I actually had gone to and said, hi, I want to work for you. And I got the job. On Friday they just said, hey, here our benefit plan, we still have some ducks we need to put in a row, but please don't take any decision until Monday. So I didn't, and on Monday I had a phone meeting with my now EM and signed the contract that day. It is a great contract, it is a great job, and I've been working there since, and I love the company. So that is great. That is 2 thumbs up. Nice people, nice job. We're a team of 10, we're gonna be a team of 11. We work on the back end of things. I am in my SE. I love where I'm working. I still have a hard time to transition from the tech lead role to just the developer role because I kind of moved that way. So that is a little bit hard for me to not have as much to say about things, because apparently decisions was something I liked. Question mark. But yeah, no, I do enjoy the company, and I look forward to grow with them. So that is awesome. Hopefully, I still have a couple more months on my probation time. Everyone has 6 months probation time, but hopefully that will work out. I started working with them at the end of August, because I signed the papers basically at the end of July, and then it was over a month before. One was that I had a couple of weeks of vacation where I was on the West Coast, and I felt that I wanted to stay on the West Coast for those weeks. West Coast is where Christopher's parents live, and Christopher is my partner, my boyfriend. So that was kind of one part of it. Also, the contract I had with my previous company wouldn't end until middle of August, and I wasn't allowed to I was allowed to sign, but I wasn't allowed to start. So basically you sign with someone, that contract is a pending contract until the first day you work, and then it becomes a permanent contract. That's how it works in Sweden anyhow. So I still had like a month there. I had a couple of weeks there, and my EM wouldn't start until the end of August. So we decided that I would start the same day that he came back from vacation. He had vacation. He wasn't new. He had vacation. But yeah, so that part is super good. However, my health has been deteriorating. And I ended up being on sick leave for over 7 weeks. Happily enough, we could control that. I got back to work, and I've been working for a couple of weeks now. So a few things that happened. I got to meet my rheumatologist. After the liver things, they said, we're gonna meet you again in 6 months. I got to meet a new rheumatologist, very nice person, and she said, hey, your levels are even worse. You need a new medication, but the only medication we can put you is this medication. And we can't put you on that medication as long as you have abnormal cells. Because that is also an issue I have. I have HPV, human papillomavirus, which causes abnormal cells. I had a hysterectomy 2020 to remove that, and it almost worked. I was actually feeling fairly good for almost a year until the HPV started to crawl itself back. So we didn't get rid of it completely, which was a little bit sad because that would have needed to. I have taken the HPV vaccine, so that is 3 syringes. You have one, then you have another one in 2 weeks, and then in a month, and then you have another one in 3 months. And that is done now. I also have taken tests. I'm waiting on the results. So hopefully I'm HPV free and abnormal cells free. If I'm not, it's gonna be a journey. We'll see. It's gonna be a journey. But yeah, I have that to deal with. I now know that I can take the medication because we're gonna start taking tests more often, so I'm gonna have to contact my rheumatologist for that. But that is something for the new year. So I've been dealing with that. About 2 weeks into me working, because I'm working in the office, I of course picked up a bad cold. And this one, I had a little bit higher of cortisone for a while from my doctors to see if we could just push my immune system a little bit. So I actually had a normal cold sequence, like a week of a severe cold, and then I was back on my feet, which was awesome. However, during that week, I was supposed to have my Botox. I wasn't allowed to come in when I was sick, and they didn't want me to come in about a week after I had felt good again. So 12 days from where I should have had my Botox to when I got my Botox. I get my Botox for my migraines. And it didn't work. And because you can't just redo the Botox, because then you kill your nerves, I had to wait 9 weeks for the next treatment. And I ended up only being able to work the first 2 weeks, and then I went on sick leave. So I was on sick leave for 7 weeks and had my Botox and felt much better. I still have migraine, a residual migraine, but it's not as bad, so I can still work and do things, which is awesome. But yeah, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year. So for me, I'm really looking forward for my vacation. It is almost Christmas, and I'm just happy to be alive, to be honest. All through all of these stress and everything, I was able to not gain any weight. I need to lose, as I said in the beginning, I need to lose 20 kilos because of my fatty liver. This is a health thing. It's not I need to get thin. It is because when you are more overweight, a fatty liver can become an issue. Also, if you eat more fat, it can be an issue, and if you drink alcohol. Now, I haven't had alcohol for 10 years, so it's definitely not that is the issue. And I don't eat very fat food because my tummy can't handle that, but that might just be my liver. Because that is new things I find out all the time. Like, your liver is responsible to produce the bile. Bile is all of the different kind of acids and enzymes you need to break things down. So if your liver doesn't do everything it needs to, you can start having food reactions, which is what I have. I'm intolerant to a lot of different foods, including fat. So yeah, that might just be my liver that is a little bit troublesome. So I need to have a fat reduced diet. I need to lose weight. It is hard to lose weight when you can't really exercise properly, and also when you have all of your limitation in food. That also makes it hard to lose weight. But I have been able to this year lose 7 kilos. So I'm hoping to be able to lose the rest of the 13 next year. Hoping next year is just much better than it is right now. But hey. Also, I have some other health issues. I have stomach attack in the middle of in September. I think it was this year, but it could have been last year. Some things, the dates just kind of disappear, but I got stomach attack, which meant we bumped up the medication I was on for my stomach. I have had omeprazole for a long time, and now I have something called esomeprazole, which is supposed to be a little bit better, a little bit stronger. But for the past, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, I have really been having issues with my tummy, and it might be that I have another brand of my esomeprazole. So we'll see when that is done if it get better, but I have to be a little bit more careful with what I eat. But yeah, so that has been my 2023. It's been in many cases rough, but it also have given me the opportunity to kind of sit down and reflect over my life, my health, what I want to do with my life. And I'm still going very strong with, I want my store to be up and running and functioning and being good. I want to be able to bring more things to my store. One of the things I realized throughout the year is that I don't want my store to just be cross-stitch supply, aka threads and kits and fabric. I love the threads and kits and fabric, but I really want me and my essence to be a big part of it. So I am going to hopefully be able to design more things next year. I have plans. I have so many plans. I just hope that I have the energy to work on them, because that has been lacking in 2023. But I'm hoping to bring a lot of cross-stitch, kind of at the edge of cross-stitch kind of products to my store. A lot of things, a lot of ideas, more floss drops. I did make some floss drops in the middle of the year that I never put up in the store, that I actually have been using myself, and I really, really enjoy them. So I'm hoping to be able to do those kind of floss drops, but in so many different patterns. So yeah, that is my plans and my dreams. Next video that comes out for me is gonna be from my vacation, and I'm gonna really tell you where I'm going more than a warm place. I've been there in the past, but it's been a while. It did, however, help me to realize what I want to do with the channel. I have been watching a lot of travel channels, and I really, really enjoy those travel channels. And in my heart, it's been like, I want to make my content like them. But when I sat down before this trip, I actually went back and I watched my video from my previous trip. And I'm like, I really enjoyed this content. It just needs to be more. And that really made me solidify in me that at least the content I do ring true to me. And that is all it has to do. I love that it rings true to you too, who are watching, and I'm hoping that more people will find it and enjoy it. But I make content mainly for people like me. That is kind of where you have to be. You have to enjoy what you are doing. To do YouTube, YouTube is a sleep, drink, eat kind of a profession. It's always in your mind, what is going to be the next video, how are you going to record that? And if I can take some of that stress off me by just feeling that I didn't do that a couple of years ago and I really enjoyed the video I made, let's just go with more like that. Let's just go with more like that. So hopefully you will enjoy my whole travel video, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, even though it was kind of sad. A little bit sad. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching my very quick recap of 2023, and I hope that you want to see more like this. And if you want to see more like this, just hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, thumbs it up. If you have any comments, anything, just comment down below. The comment section is where YouTube is the good thing. It's the conversations between you and me. This whole video is supposed to be a conversation between you and me, and I've been missing you. I've been missing you these past like 5 months that I have been away, and I hope that I can just stick with it next year. Do my 1 video a week, and I hope you want to come there and join me. But yes, I've been missing you guys. I just want to say I hope that the end of the year for you are going to be awesome. Next video will go up in January, and yeah, I'll see you then. Bye!